How Amazon went from a small online bookstore to a global empire. Imagine starting a company when online shopping was still something most people barely understood. Your product, books, your store, a website, your competition, thousands of physical bookstores. Yet that small idea would eventually become one of the biggest businesses in the world. This is the story of Amazon, and the most interesting part isn't that Amazon started by selling books. It's why books were only the beginning. In 1994, Jeff Bezos founded the company that would eventually become Amazon. At the time, the internet was still in its early stages. Most people weren't ordering everyday products online. Shopping usually meant getting in your car, going to a store and looking through whatever products were available on its shelves. Bezos saw something different. He believed the internet could create a store that wasn't limited by physical shelves, and he began looking for the right product to start with. He eventually chose books. Why books? Because there were millions of titles available, far more than a typical physical bookstore could keep on its shelves. An online store could give customers access to a much larger selection. That was the opportunity. Amazon opened its online bookstore in July 1995, but the company was still tiny compared with the retail giants of the time. There were no massive fulfillment centers, no global delivery network, no cloud computing empire, just a growing website and a team trying to convince people that buying books online was a good idea. Then something important happened. Customers started ordering. Amazon says that during its first month, it shipped books to customers in all 50 US states and 45 countries. That was a powerful signal. People were willing to trust the internet with their purchases. And Bezos understood that this could become much bigger. Amazon didn't need to remain a bookstore. It could become a place where people bought almost anything. That idea changed the direction of the company. Amazon gradually expanded beyond books. Music became part of the business. Video followed. More categories appeared. The company was transforming from an online bookstore into an online retailer. And this gives us the first major business lesson. Your first product doesn't have to be your final product. Sometimes you begin with one focused product because it gives you a practical way into a much larger market. Amazon started with books, but Bezos was thinking about something much bigger: online commerce. The next challenge was growth. More customers meant more orders. More orders meant more inventory. More inventory meant better warehouses, technology, and delivery systems. Amazon had to build the infrastructure behind the website, and this is one of the most important parts of the story. Amazon wasn't just building a website, it was building a machine that could handle millions of customers and millions of transactions. The company invested heavily in technology and operations. It worked on search, it worked on recommendations, it worked on customer accounts, it improved fulfillment, and it kept trying to make the shopping experience easier. The goal was simple: make customers want to come back. As Amazon grew, another powerful idea emerged. Why should Amazon sell every product itself? What if other businesses could sell products through Amazon? That helped transform the company into a marketplace. Now Amazon wasn't simply a retailer, it was becoming a platform connecting customers and sellers. And platforms can become extremely powerful. More sellers can mean more products can attract more customers can attract more sellers. That creates a cycle that can strengthen the business. But Amazon wasn't finished. The company eventually moved into another enormous industry: technology infrastructure. Amazon Web Services, commonly known as Oz, became a major cloud computing business. Think about how far the company had traveled. It started by selling books, then it became an online retailer, then a marketplace, then a major technology company. The business was no longer simply about selling products. It was about building systems that other businesses could use. And that leads to another major lesson. Sometimes the biggest opportunity isn't the product you sell, it's the system you build behind it. Amazon built technology, logistics, fulfillment systems, and a marketplace. Those systems became powerful assets, and the company continued expanding. But Amazon's journey wasn't always smooth. The company faced criticism, competition, and enormous pressure to become profitable while continuing to invest in growth. Building a huge business requires patience. You have to spend money on infrastructure before the infrastructure produces its full value. You have to build for customers before you know exactly how large the market will become. And you have to keep adapting. That's another lesson from Amazon. A successful company can't depend entirely on what worked yesterday. The market changes, technology changes, customers change, and businesses have to change with them. So what can entrepreneurs learn from Amazon? Lesson number 1. Start with a focused problem. Amazon began with books. Lesson number 2. Think beyond the first product. The bigger opportunity was online commerce. Lesson number 3. Build systems. If your business grows, You need processes that can handle that growth. Lesson number 4. Focus on the customer. Make it easier for people to discover, buy and receive what they want. And lesson number 5. Think long-term. Some of Amazon's biggest investments required years before their full potential became obvious. Amazon's story shows us that a massive company doesn't necessarily begin with a massive idea. Sometimes it begins with a small idea that solves one problem. Then the business keeps asking, what problem can we solve next? What can we make easier? What system can we build? And how far can this go? Amazon started with books, but it didn't stay there. It built a platform. It built technology. It built logistics. And it built an ecosystem around the customer. That's why the biggest lesson from Amazon isn't simply about selling more products. It's about thinking bigger than your starting point. Start small. Solve a real problem. Build systems. Keep improving. And when the opportunity appears, be ready to scale. This is Money Behind the Story. Subscribe for more stories about the companies, entrepreneurs, and business decisions that change the world.